Marketing, sales, and customer service people want to use their own preferred calendars, like Google Calendar, Microsoft Outlook Calendar, or Apple Calendar, for booking meetings, which makes it difficult to share the meeting data with others. So Calendars Hub was added to the business-made Agile customer platform to make it easy for users to integrate their calendars directly with the platform's CRM, communication, and automation workflows. Calendars is a powerful integrated system for managing and automating appointment scheduling. It's meticulously designed to streamline the booking of meetings, consultations, services, and events for businesses and their customers. There are 6 types of calendars: personal and round-robin calendars for one-to-one meetings, class and collective booking calendars, and calendars for services and events. When we sign in to the customer platform, we always land on the dashboard. But now we want to go to Calendars Hub. So let's click on Calendars, and then we land on the calendar view. There's also appointment list view and calendar settings. So calendar view is monthly view, weekly view, or daily view. And the type of calendar will open what you last were using. So the system remembers your last visit or the previous visit and will open the same calendar. So this time it was monthly calendar, and then it was groups was selected as the calendar type. Other types are users, so I can pick one or many users so that I can see all appointments in one view. If I turn off the second user, you can see that I have only one booking. But then if I add the second and the third person, then I can see much more appointments. This simple reason is that I am logged in with my private gmail.com Google account, and I don't have so many bookings on my personal calendar. Okay, weekly view. This is self explaining. Daily view. And in daily view, if I only select one user, I see only one, of course. But then if I select another user, I can see 2 columns side by side. And even if I add a third one, then I can see 3 columns side by side. So this would help me book a meeting to make sure that all 3 persons are available. Or if I create a group like this, Business Made Agile, and I know that those 3 people belong to this group, then I can see all the bookings in this one group. Okay, let's see the appointment list view. Here are all upcoming appointments listed. I can also view cancelled appointments, and then if I want to, I can see all of them in one list view. And I can also create smart list. Let's see how that works. So I can add a filter and then save the list. And I could, for example, call this test list. And then advanced filters could be, for example, based on user is any of, and then I select Mr. Ware here, and then I apply. And now save as new. Yeah. So it appear here, test list. And now I can only see the appointments by user, Mr. Bear. You can also manage columns here, so you can add more columns if there are available. There are 3 available. Apply, and now they are saved in the view. And then if I manage the columns, I can then also reorganize them. So I could move this one up and then just remember to apply. So it saves the changes on here. Calendar settings. Now you can see it changed to the settings area. And here I would start from the right. So connections. Looks like the internet connection is a little bit slow today. So this is where you connect your calendar. And as you can see, you can connect several calendars. So I have connected both my private or personal calendars, Google Calendar and Outlook Calendar. And I could also add other calendars if I had. Then when you add a Google Calendar, the system will automatically add Google Meet as your default online meeting platform. But you can also add Microsoft Teams. I have Microsoft Teams account connected to my Outlook account. And then I have also a free Zoom account, which is connected to my gmail.com. So these are all free accounts, and you can still connect them with the system. So that's pretty good. The only thing you have to remember is that Zoom limits the duration of a meeting to 40 minutes. So I would recommend using Zoom only for meetings which are like 30 minutes. And if they extend a little bit, then you can still continue until 40 minutes is up. Microsoft Teams and Google Meet are by default 1 hour. But of course you can always book consecutive meetings, and you just have to log out and log in to the new meeting. Then Google Organic Booking. So this means that you can connect your Google business profile and then you can allow contacts to make bookings from the Google business profile. Okay, and then next, availability. Let me turn off my image. So here, what is recommended is that you give long hours here, because this is your like central by default limitation. So if you are doing business with other time zones, so let's say you're based in Thailand and you are doing business in Europe, it means that the early morning meeting in in Europe will be in the afternoon in Thailand. So that's why I leave flexibility to take meetings all the way up to evening 10 o'clock. Or if the contacts are working in Australia, for example, if they would like to have like an early meeting, then I allow them to book from 6 a.m. And then if you want to take 1 hour for lunch, for example, then you can split the day into 2 parts and then leave the lunch hour in between. And then here you can select which work days you would like to allow for any kind of bookings. Okay, then preferences. Here you set your meeting location by default. So now that we added Google Meet, Zoom, and Microsoft Teams. Those are the three options for online meetings. But I could also select phone as the default meeting location, or full address, which means the physical location of my business, the office where you're working, for example. But I think most of the meetings that I have would be Google Meet. So I would save this preference. And then I know myself, I know that my general default meeting location is Google Meet. Then account preference. These are just basically one-time settings. You set the first day of the week. Monday is the first day of the week in the countries where I work or do business. Language and region, you can select the language, and as you can see, there are lots of languages. English, I think, is the most popular, but then you have European languages, Northern European and Western European languages. Also, Hungarian is coming soon, so also some, and Polish. So the Eastern European or Central European countries will be covered soon. Then Americas, of course, English and Spanish and Portuguese are covered. So lots of languages here, but what you can see is that Asian languages and African languages are missing. In Asia, there are a couple of countries where English is official language, like the Philippines and Singapore, but others are still waiting for the language version. Time format you can select here, and then this is for widget preferences, so week starts on Monday. Okay, and now finally we end up in the calendar settings. So here we can create calendars. And there are 6 types of calendars. First one is, or let me open this view so it's easier for you to see. So personal booking is one-to-one meeting. So if you are creating this calendar, then you are the host, and then you can have one contact in the meeting. This is of course perfect for in-person meetings or online meetings when you are discussing with someone about anything. Round robin is also one-to-one, but there's a difference. So this is excellent for sales teams and customer service teams. So you can have several team members as alternative hosts, but only one contact, only one lead, only one customer on the other side. And you can even allow the contact person to select one of your team members when they are making the booking. So this would be ideal for account managers, for example. So if you have 5 account managers and then one of their customers wants to book a meeting, of course, they would select the account manager who is taking care of them. Then class booking, this is for webinars, group trainings, online classes, also on-site classes. So one host, one instructor, and then many contacts who will join the class. Collective booking is the other way around. So there you have your whole sales team as hosts, and then only one contact. So like it says here, it could be like a panel interview. So if you're interviewing some sales rep candidates, then your whole sales team could be on one side and then the new candidate on the other side. Also committee reviews, for example, or maybe board meetings. If there would be like an external project manager who is explaining the project status to the members of the board or the top management team. Event calendar, this is for physical events like conferences, public seminars, exhibitions, etc. So there is no host. There are just plenty of guests. And finally, service booking. This is ideal for service businesses who book or who allow customers to book a time for a certain type of service. So think of nail salon or hair salon, where you can book a time for hair treatment, but then you can have several options like services. That what do you want to do? Do you want to wash your hair, cut your hair, color your hair? And then depending on what the customer wants to book, then you can have special rooms where you do like washing. So you have a washing room, then you have a coloring room, and then just hair cutting room. And if you only have one room for washing, for example, then it means that it's a limiting resource. So if somebody has already booked a washing room, then no one else can book the same room at the same time. You have also equipment that you need for delivering the service. So if you have not enough, let's say, equipment for cutting hair, then you cannot allow customers to book another meeting at the same time when all the equipment are booked. This is also, of course, good for lawyers or consultant companies. So if you have a limited number of consultants, let's say 3 consultants, then you can only book 3 meetings with 3 customers at the same time. All right, we will create calendars in another video, but I can show you the round robin. This is maybe one of the most interesting ones for sales teams and service teams. And you can add your calendar logo, square or circle, give a calendar name. This could be like a contact call. So somebody wants to book the first contact call with your company. And then you would add a group, and you have maybe your sales team is here. Your business development reps or your sales reps would be here. And if you, let's say, have 5, then the contact person could select one of those or just pick any of them. Optimize for availability. Here we have the team. So we have 3 sales reps or service reps, and we can select the priority. So if you want that Vanipa is the number 1, that she will always be booked if she's available, so then she would have high priority. And Mr. Bear would have low priority, so he will be booked only if no one else is available. And also can set the meeting location. So if Vanipa prefers Zoom, okay, that's right. Vanipa doesn't have a Zoom yet. So she would be, let's say, full address, meaning that she would meet at the office. And then Mr. Bear would have Google Meet, and let's see, I would have Zoom as my meeting location. And then you would set this one here, optimize for equal distribution if you think that they are all equal. So every sales rep or service rep would get 33% of the meetings. But if there is a priority, then we can set the priority like we did just before, and then just remember to save up here. Let's save. Okay, then availability. This means that when are contact calls available. So it means that in general, when contacts or leads can book contact calls. So you could limit this to certain weekdays, or you could limit this to, let's say, mornings only. And then you would allow people to book contact calls only certain times of the week. So here it is limited between 9 and 3 p.m. But if you remember, my personal availability was limited so that I had a lunch break between 12 and 1 p.m. So it means that I would not be available from 12 to 1 p.m. But if others don't have the lunch break set up, then they would be available the whole time. Then forms and payment. If you want to collect payments, then you need to ask to fill out a form. And the default form is first name, last name, email, and phone. But you can add here a custom form that you can create yourself. Then you can change the order of the form and date and time selector. Many say that it's better to collect the information in the form first and then the date and time selector. Some say that the likelihood that the person would not book the meeting is lower than if these are in the other order. You can also allow pre-populate fields. Sticky contacts means that if the same person comes to the same form second time, then the system will remember the first name, last name, email, and phone number. Consent checkbox. Well, this is important for data privacy, of course. Then can you allow adding guests, or can the guest add guests? So this would be, of course, up to you. Then if they do add guests, then you could ask or require the name and email, or just a number of other guests. And then you can also require guests for booking. So let's say that you organize a dinner for two, couples dinner, so that you would require that if somebody registers for that meeting, always have to bring a guest or a spouse or a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Confirmation page default, so this message will appear, or you can redirect to another landing page if you like. And here, if you want to accept payments, then you have to turn on this switch, and then it means that you must have a Stripe account or some other account attached to this platform. Notification, additional options. Here you can create automation, so you can send emails or in-app notifications before the meeting, or if it's cancelled or rescheduled, if you allow that, and then a reminder just before the meeting, and then a follow-up after the meeting. You can also turn all these off and then create a unique workflow in the automation section of the platform. Then you could allow Google and Outlook Calendar send invitation and update emails to attendees, but this might mean that you are sending duplicate messages if you have turned on one of these message types. And there are some other settings that you can take a look. And then you can allow rescheduling and cancellation, or turn these off if you don't allow. And then finally, the additional notes, these links, you cannot copy these anywhere. They don't work. They only work here. So if I take out cancellation, you can see that the cancellation link is removed. And if I don't allow rescheduling, that's also removed. The only remaining is the phone number and email, so they can contact you by phone or or you can contact them by phone or email. And then if you do allow, then they will be added here. That will be in the meeting record after they have booked the meeting. Customizations, you can change the logo or the image. You can select the style, but I recommend using Neo because some features don't work in the Classic. And then you can change the primary color of the button and the background color of the calendar widget. And you can change the button text, maybe book a meeting or schedule a meeting. And then you can choose whether you want to show the calendar title, calendar description, and calendar details. And here you can preview the widget. So this would be the form to fill out first, and we can perhaps fill it out. This is the calendar group, and this is the name or type of the calendar. And there was no description, so that's why the description is not shown here. And I could add a guest, and in this case, it required the name and the email address. But I don't add a guest. And then continue. And now I can pick up the time. And here you can see the round robin, any available. So I could pick one of these if I know them, I want to talk to one of them. But if I select, for example, if you take a look here, there are times available at 12 p.m., 12:30, and 1 p.m. But if I select me, what happens is that there is a 1 hour gap that I cannot book. I cannot book meetings at 12 or 1 or 12:30 because that's my lunch break. So that's why it's important to set the availability correctly. But if I select Mr. Bear, no problem, anytime works for him. Okay, and if I select, let's say, Friday 30, 11 a.m., and I select any available, okay, at 11 a.m., confirm. Okay, so now you can see that this meeting is in a physical location. And now the contact person can add this to Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, or iCloud, Apple Calendar. Okay. Okay, now we came back to the calendar settings, customizations. And now we are done, so we just remember to save before we leave. And now the round robin calendar has been updated, or if you started from scratch, then you created a new calendar. And the other types were event. So this would be a physical event, like a networking event, web seminar. Class booking would be like a webinar or real school class, maybe yoga class at the gym. Then personal calendar, that's only between you and the contact person. So it's one-to-one, no options. And collective booking, that was the meeting where you have one person reporting to a group, like I said, like a project manager reporting to top management team, executive management team, or board of directors, for example. Or sales team would be interviewing a new candidate. And then finally, service calendar, which we will discuss more in detail later. Finally, groups. These are groups, so you can group your calendars like it's like a folder, and this will show on the calendar widget. So if you would say like sales meetings or service meetings or whatever, then or board meetings, then people would know that what type of calendar it is. Service menu, this relates only to the one type of calendar, the service calendar. And here I explain to you that you can add, for example, if it's a hair salon and you book a time, but what do you book the time for? Then you can select a service like washing, cutting, or coloring hair. And if you have a special room for washing only, then you cannot book two times. Two contacts cannot book at the same time the same room. But if you have two rooms, then of course you can have 2 customers at the same time. And same applies to equipment. If you have some special equipment that you need, you cannot book more than you have of those equipment. And sometimes some equipment could be broken, so those are taken out of the list while they are repaired, and then they are returned to the list, and then you have more equipment. Okay, that's it for now, and you will be able to watch other videos about every single type of calendar separately. Okay, let's just log out, sign out, and I thank you for your time and hope to see you in the next video.